quick. Today we have the Ruger Wrangler chambered in .22 LR. Let's review it. I suppose we'll start off with some history with this little guy here. Despite this thing's looks overall, you would think of a little bit of an older firearm here. Not necessarily the case. In fact, this is actually a fairly new addition, all things considered, to Ruger's lineup. This gun was introduced in the year of 2019, and it was based on Ruger's original single 6, as you can imagine here. Those original revolvers were produced back in 1960 era, roughly, and then a little bit onwards. But after that, kind of discontinued for a while. And we all know and love Ruger, been around since the 50s, or even a bit earlier, I believe. But yeah, nice to have a single shot revolver in their name. So, overall design of this thing, let's get to that, shall we? Essentially what we have here is just a modern interpretation of a single shot revolver, and to be honest, it's quite pleasing. Big curved hammer, and also a side loading latch here for you to load your shots. And when you are unloading this thing, of course you have to have this open, and you would rotate this cylinder and push this plunger on the other side through to eject your shells. But as you can see here, I've opted for the completely blacked out version. It looks pretty nifty overall, and I quite enjoy it. And for newcomers to these types of revolvers, just to let you know up front, they are indeed quite hefty. This gun weighs probably about a good 3 to 3.5 pounds. It is quite the chunky guy. And on top we have a set of iron sights. Basic as you can get, but hey, if they work, they work. But overall, yeah, ergonomics are actually pretty okay with this, other than being a tad bit heavy, and the grip being slightly large, but hey, whatever, right? It gets the job done, so I'll take it. And now that we're through a few segments here, let's get to loading this guy, and let's go test her out. All right, let's get to it. There we go. Let's load up another cylinder right quick. Happy. So with that now out the way, what are my final thoughts on this little guy here? Oh, I will tell you though, it is indeed a fun time just to slang 22 out this all day long. Not to mention how cheap it really is to do so, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, no, overall, I really enjoy shooting this thing. Very flat shooter from time to time. Of course, I'm shooting out from about 25 to 35 yards with a revolver, so take that for what you will. You definitely can make do with these small little irons here. They do indeed get the job done. And honestly, if it's just for a varmint pistol, good enough. And back to that real fun, which is, of course, taking out shells one at a time, like so. Riveting. Now that final thoughts are out the way, main question, of course, who is this revolver for? I would say this gun is really for anyone, whether it be a small varmint pistol, a little car gun could be, I don't know. Many uses you could get out of this guy. We of course have to factor in the price point. But yeah, the overall prices of these, I've seen anywhere from 100 to 200 roughly. They're just not that expensive and pretty cheap and affordable guns. So I would say if you have an interest in any revolver, or any 22 for that matter, I'd pick this little guy up. What could it hurt? And not to mention, ammo will never be expensive for this gun. We all know 22 LR or 22 short for that matter could both work. But yeah, if you see one of these at your local pawn shop or your gun store for a good price, I'd go for it. Really, what do you have to lose? We're gonna cut to a few more videos of shooting after this, but yeah, overall, thank you guys very much for being here. Appreciate it as always. Sub, like, or just watch, and I have short content and gaming videos as well. Peace. Loaded up another cylinder right quick. Let's go. Here we are again.